The microphone all set up. Have the chair be so squeaky so I can have my air hands up in the air and talk to you whilst I discuss my unemployment happening in 2 weeks, not from today. But today's video, what's it about? Unemployment or losing your first job. I actually want it to be more about that than reaping the benefits of taxpayer money for you not working. I don't have an opinion on that. I personally would have preferred free money if I could take it. However, I don't qualify for that because I turned in my letter of resignation, my 2 week notice, and so I am exempt of that, unfortunately. So, who knows if this is up properly? Hopefully, the shadow isn't casting on me too, but that's aside the point. What I wanted to discuss was today I met the conclusion to my first job. It's not dramatic. I didn't get fired, nor is it super emotional yet, at least. This is just the first day of the first week of my first job. However, I just wanted to get it out of me that it's time for me to move on. It's time for me to pursue more grander, bigger ambitions in my life, like the mechanical keyboard store, this YouTube video or channel. Let's start with videos. Yeah, how about that? I'm still working on that accountability thing. And just more so, hopefully at least, more in-depth CNC machine work than just flipping apart, pressing button, and pulling it out and cleaning it up. That's pretty boring after you've been doing it for, I'd say, after like 3 months, it gets pretty boring. But then I think a lot of jobs are very repetitive, so I can't really say that. I liked my first job. I think that for a first job, it was very, very pleasant. Walk in the park. No, yeah, walk in the park. My uncle, who works there, is a VP of the company. He's the lead designer, and so getting me in was fairly simple. As with a man on the inside, you gotta really fuck up to not get the interview with, especially if you got someone on the inside who's like a higher up to really vouch for you with their status and executive privilege. But my first job was very pleasant. I really loved it. My first job was being a CNC operator, where if this was a CNC machine, I'd basically take aluminum, I'd put it into the machine. It goes around and cuts it up like crazy in a certain pattern, not pattern, but using code to precisely cut it. And for example, at least once it's done, you pull it out and you get your part. And after that, my job is to not only take care of the machine with making sure it's clean, making sure there's no crap on it. Hopefully, it doesn't mess up the wind filter. And making sure that the trash on the bottom is gone. But to also make sure that when the parts came out, I cleaned them. Right, I'm just use my soldering iron as an example. Like I would clean them like this, make sure they were sanded, keep cleaning them, inspection, and then you just do that again for a bunch of times, and that's the job title: CNC machine operator. Flip parts. I'd say I really liked my job, being the sense that I didn't have to deal with customers and that it was very focus oriented. However, even I fucked that up because I think over time I've been growing very complacent with the job in distracting, or not distracting. I was getting distracted with my phone, the thing I'm looking at the moment, and not necessarily taking care of the tasks I needed to in an orderly fashion. If someone asked for me to cut 4 bars of stock, which is the little pieces of aluminum or stainless steel that you put into the machine, from these long bars, you need to cut them up. If they gave me 2 bars, if they gave me 4 bars, they wanted it done in an hour and a half. I'd take 4, which is stupid. Or sorry, that's not really bad. Which is very bad, considering the fact that I'm twice over the original deadline. And so I think that's the main reason of why I was, I'd say, strongly suggested to leave the company on the 2 week basis, because they don't want to deal with an unemployment claim. And today was the first day of that 2 week notice leaving, and I felt very conflicted about it. On one hand, I recognize that this is a part time job, most of the time because I have college, that pays minimally $16 an hour, and that isn't really the full career path that I'm going to be taking. It's not a dead end job by any means. A dead end job would be McDonald's and a fry cook, because a fry cook doesn't become a CNC like a CNC coding designer. You get me? They just become either manager or fry cook and cashier. And so it's not. I wouldn't say my first job was a dead end job, and that's I'm conflicted because it's not a dead end job that I could really get good at, but I wasn't getting good at it. I got distracted. I didn't learn the things I needed to. I not. I didn't learn the things I needed to. I got distracted, and to be honest, I would say I was respectful to my coworkers, but we're talking about my negatives, and so I think those two things are really what held me back from ever really achieving much more than what I was able to do. I am also have to recognize that because of the part time nature of it, I'm there Tuesday, Friday for full time. I'm there Tuesday, Friday for full time hours, so 9 to 7 or 9 to 6. Yeah, I could really only accomplish so much, but that sounds like a cope. That's really just a cope. If I have a bunch of time to rest, recover, and go back to work and do the damn best job I can, and yet I didn't do that. And so that's why I feel conflicted about it, because I find that even for a minimum wage job, you should be doing the best effort that you can. Sorry, I got a stuffy nose. You should be doing the best effort you can, because how you do one thing is how you do everything in life. If you have your bed made, you're sure as hell going to make sure that the shop or the place, your workspace, is clean. If you have something laying around that needs to be put away, it carries over to work, because there's small little things will keep adding up. And I find that, or I'm I'm ashamed that I didn't, and I didn't achieve better than I did right now. And that's why I feel conflicted and talking to you about it. I'm very happy that I had this first job. My uncle has been a really supportive person. I'd say that he wishes me the best. He wishes me the best in my future out of, I believe, everyone in my life. And not only that, I think he'll help me achieve that, and I'm very grateful for that. And I'm grateful to him for not only the job, but for his continued mentorship of me through just making sure I'm taken care of, whether it's just lunch. Him and I will go out for lunch sometimes. It's really nice, of a nice gesture of him, or just talking with him about the newest developments that happen, because he is a higher up at the company and can talk to me about it. He shows that trust in me to not go and extradite him or expose company secrets. My God, that would be a whole different story if I talked about this video in the context of losing my job and leaking company secrets. But I'm happy that's not the point. I'm just grateful to my uncle for being able to not only teach me about the corporate world, but introduce me to a industry that I hope to one day be a part of in some capacity. With my mechanical keyboard store dream, I'd like to manufacture them here in the United States instead of like over in China, where they probably do charge cheaper and deliver faster. Not faster, but I want to be able to oversee that process here in the States and have that be a selling point for my own business someday. And I think that the end of my first job is a very exciting new door of opportunity for me to go into. With coding, I know that my comp sci class has an internship that I'm probably going to be hitting super hard. I can do full time with my self improvement, which is hopefully why I'm talking to this camera right now. And I can really just be find better opportunities with that experience under my belt of working at the company I have, which is a very prestigious company in the industry they're in. And in all, I'm just very grateful that I got to be part of something so purposeful and not dead end like McDonald's, and being able to expand my horizons for what I can achieve and setting up a very good career path for me. And this start was amazing. It sucks that I'm going to be losing my job. It sucks that I can't do the best I can. Those things are in the future, however, and I can't change that. I can change the future though, and so I will be damn sure to change the future.